how did you get involved in this big behemoth?
Yeah. So some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. When I first heard of Supernatural, I was on Gilmore Girls. I saw some Luke Steiner shirts out there, and I met some Gilmore fans. The original Dean, I should say. And then they told me about this guy, bow-legged guy, on Smallville at the time. And he and I were both in the Warner Brothers family. They're like, we think y'all would make a good pairing. And so they said, we have this show, it's called Supernatural. At the time, I think it was like Buffy and Charmed and Angel on the network, in the States at least. And I was like, I'm a fan of those shows. But I was like, you know what, I want to do something more serious. Like, no, this is more X-Files than Charmed, than Buffy.
This was WB though, this wasn't even CW.
Yeah, WB. So I was like, okay, cool, I'd love to read the script. I read the script and thought, holy shit, this is badass. Like, this is so what I'm into, like the Luke Skywalker, the Harry Potter, that classic like Joseph Campbell mythology, the archetypes. So it was like, okay, cool, I'd love to try out for it. Cool, next Tuesday at noon, or whatever it was. So go in, and for those who aren't actors out there, back in 2005, the way it worked to audition for a TV show was you'd go in and there would be a dozen guys or gals that looked roughly like you did. You know, there'd be a dozen 22-year-old white dudes like in a room, and we just sit there twiddling our thumbs and be like, okay, Mark and John. Okay, now Bill and Frank. Now Mark and Frank. Like they do, they call it chemistry reads to see who gets along. And so I was expecting 20 people, 10 for Sam, 10 for Dean. And I get there, and it's me and it's Jensen. I'm like, hey. And I'm like, who you trying out for? I'm like, Dean. Sam. I'm like, cool. Where you from? Texas. Where are you from? Texas. You have any siblings? Yeah. Older brother, younger sister. You? Older brother, younger sister. Okay, cool. Who's your football team? Who's your throwball team? Cowboys. Who's yours? Cowboys. I was like, this is going nicely. So they brought us in and had us read in front of. It wasn't a room this big, but it was kind of like stadium style, with all the 20 heads of the network and the studio. And they come in, we read the scene, and it's the whole, when I told Dad I was scared of the thing under my pillow, he gave me a 45. That whole sequence, down the stairs. We're sitting there, we say it, and scene ends. And like, okay, why don't you go back out, and we're gonna talk, and we'll come see it. Cool. So we go back into the room, we're like, I think that went well. That seemed to go well. Like, that felt good. We'll see. And when you sign a deal to do a TV show, it's a 6-year contract. So it's like, hey, if you get this job, if we say yes to you, you're doing the pilot, and if we say yes to you for the next 6 years, you're doing the show wherever it's shooting for the next 6 years. So it's a lot on the line, right? And so we go out there, we're like, I think it was good. I think it went well. So they come back and they give us a few notes, like, hey, can you do one where maybe add humor? I forget the notes. We're like, sure. So they go in. Okay, what do you want to do? Let's just do it. We know the lines. Let's do it. And so we went back in, did it, and they were like, great, thank you. Please go wait back in the green room, and we'll talk and bring you back in. We're like, no problem. We went back to the green room. We're like, I think that went well too, man. Like it felt good. Like, I think we did it. I was feeling it. And so they come in, and like, okay, come on back. Like, okay, great. And so we go on back, and then we get in, and everybody stands up in the room and says, congratulations, you got a TV show. It was Peter Roth, who was the head of Warner Brothers. And so Jensen and I kind of looked at each other like, all right, I guess we're doing this. And that was my introduction to Supernatural.
Yeah, nuts.